because Chosen will be one part of the panel later. So with that, I think we'll go to the next slide. And I want to introduce the moderator, Ms. Amira Aisha. She's the member of the Legislative Assembly from Johor, Malaysia. Over here. Next, we have the impressive Nuzulia Vajrining Room. I will not introduce because I already introduced just now. Over to the table. Mr. Waraposh Chosen, he's the CEO and co-founder of Chosen Digital. And finally, Dr. Krungthepkreetha, she's the associate professor from Raja Mangala University of Technology, Phra Nakhon, Thailand. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Joshua, for the introduction. Is this clear? Am I clear? Can you guys hear me at the back? Yeah? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Oh, hello, Dr. Krungthepkreetha. I didn't realize you're here. Okay, cool. Yeah. You can be there. Yeah. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this session. Throughout the past conference, we've explored about youth and women leadership. We've explored about climate innovation, and also about building more inclusive systems. So today we're going to take that conversation one step further, because the question is not about whether we need young women, we need youth and women in clean energy solutions, because the obvious answer is yes. But the real question is how we can redesign policy, finance, markets, so that their leadership actually shapes the outcome. So unfortunately, I wish we had 2 hours with our panelists, but I was given only 20 minutes. So for the next 20 minutes, we will explore how we can move from good ideas to real systems change. So before we begin with the questions, I will just do a short speaker's introduction. Our first panelist is Ms. Nuzulia Vajriningrum. She's an energy and climate policy professional from Indonesia. She works at the intersection of energy systems modeling, policy analysis, and government advisory. She's doing so many things. Currently serving as a staff of technical advisors to Indonesia's Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. Her experience spans national energy security analysis, international energy planning, and also youth climate engagement throughout ASEAN. So give a round of applause to Ms. Nuzulia. And she's both youth and woman, our target today. Joining us next is Mr. Waraposh Chosen, the founder and CEO of Chosen Group and co-founder of Chosen Digital. Mr. Chosen is an ASEAN Spark startup leader who has spent over 2 decades building technology and digital solutions across clean energy, EV ecosystems, and industrial innovation. Mr. Chosen is also a Thailand champion, an ASEAN champion, and the World Innovation Champion. So he wears a lot of championship belts. He's a key opinion leader and a recipient of numerous regional and international awards in entrepreneurship and technology. Welcome, Mr. Chosen. Give a round of applause. And last but not least, our third panelist, Dr. Krungthepkreetha Bunyasana from Thailand. Dr. Krungthepkreetha is a scholar specializing in energy economics, climate policy, sustainable finance, and carbon markets, with research and advisory experience across ASEAN, area, and UNESCO. Her work focuses on translating analytical research into policy-relevant, stakeholder-oriented solutions, supporting regional energy transition and net zero pathways. So, round of applause to Dr. Krungthepkreetha. As I don't have much time, I will just jump straight to the first question to Ms. Nuzulia. So, Ms. Nuzulia, your work sits at the intersection of energy modeling and real policy processes within the government. From your experience, what is actually the biggest gap between youth-generated evidence and actual policy decisions?
Thank you so much, Ms. Amira, for the excellent question. I think the biggest gap will be the difference in languages. As I speak earlier, as a policymakers, especially young people inside the room, I feel like we have to really appeal to people's interests when talking with them. For example, when I talk to the young organizations about the climate change and also energy transitions, they often have the really rich context in terms of the implementations of the policy itself. They know what's going on in the field. They know how hard it is to make the transitions sustainable in the field. However, sometimes the higher ups really care about like the data and also the politics of creating a decision. So what I can do as a modeler and also an energy analyst is to translate those two languages inside a systematic way. Usually like using the energy analysis or like energy model so that we can talk together in the same platform and also find the common solutions. Because for example in Indonesia and Thailand we use this Grab a lot, right? Especially the young people, and those are the disruptions in the transport system that we need to think about, whether it's about the fuel subsidy and also like the security for the green jobs itself. So those kind of conversations can be facilitated by the presence of a model and also a systematic way of thinking. So those are the bridge that we can provide as the government, especially the young people in the government, to accommodate the more innovative solutions about both climate resiliency and also the energy transitions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nazulia. I think what you've highlighted is something that not exactly just special in Indonesia, it's something that we see across the region. The challenge is often not lack of knowledge among the young people, but how is this technical knowledge being translated into decisions through timing, through framing, and also through institutional realities. Which raises the next important parallel question, because even when policy alignment exists, innovation still struggles to scale in the real world. So let me turn to Mr. Chosen. Mr. Chosen, you've taken climate and energy solutions from the startup stage to ASEAN and regional markets. From an innovator's perspective, what is the single biggest barrier to scaling clean energy solutions in Southeast Asia today? Is it technology maturity? Is it access to finance? Or is it regulation?
Thank you so much for the big question. And actually, I'm Mr. Chosen from Chosen, and very honored to have the chance to be here today. Actually, this is a very, very big question about the challenge, because even I got awards, but in the real life, I still need a lot of support. By the technology side, actually now the world fragmented by many protocols. And because I'm doing about the infrastructure, I need to collaborate with many partners and also to the government and the funding and also many of the private sector as well. So it's a lot of collaboration. That is a quite big task for the startup to be able to collaborate them all. And also the world going with a fragmented platform as well, like geopolitics now, like now we have the US technology, European technology, and Chinese technology. But from my solution, I aggregate them all. We are neutral. We have to collaborate all the technology from all the sides to be like aggregation and a neutral technology. This is on the technology side. But when we develop, so we need to have the support from the government. But the government, like a regulation, they quite very slow. Actually, they very conservative about innovation, because innovation need a lot of pushing new things and a lot of new ideas. But government, actually, they like to be stable. They don't want to take much risk, and they don't want to make a lot of change. So many things we need a lot of regulation. Even we try to develop the solution to be fast, but we need to wait for government because they're not fast enough. So this is about the time gap that we need to support from the regulation and also from the funding. Mostly the funding from in Thailand and Asia, in ASEAN, especially from my experience, they don't want to take much risk as well, and they want like many things that is low risk, but innovation is we need a lot of deep research, and also for the new innovation that is nothing can confirm that is no risk. This is even we try to show the traction, but sometimes it's a very good result on the testing with the POC with the government. Even we have the good report from the government POC, but from the revenue side, there's not confirmed yet that is going to be profit in the very short run, because from the like me, I developed like infrastructure. They need some time to do research and POC from the government, but they want a very short return, like within 3 years, or at most is 5 years. So this is a key shot for the climate tech startup to be able to make sure that they will short return on that. Yeah, this is a very big challenge.
Thank you, Mr. Chosen, because I think your insights underline a very critical reality that startups and innovators such as yourself is facing. Scaling clean energy solution is really just about technology. It is, like Mr. Chosen said, it is deeply shaped by the complex fragmentation of finance structures, regulatory design, and also market incentives that is going on in the world today, which will connect us directly to our next dimension, which is the policy framework and financing systems. So that brings us to Dr. Krungthepkreetha. Dr. Krungthepkreetha, you've worked extensively on energy economics, carbon markets, and ASEAN policy frameworks. When we talk about gender inclusive and youth inclusive energy transitions, where do you see the greatest disconnect between policy ambition and real implementation? There's a slide.
Thank you for your excellent question. After listening to Mr. Joseph, what do you feel? Do you feel sad, right? When you listen to me, you might be sadder. It's a great pleasure to me to answer this question from my framework. Designing a fairer, green economy, inclusive carbon governance in Asia Pacific. From this picture, you can see that this is a simple but powerful idea, and I really hope this idea can be true. The transition to a low carbon economy is not only about technology or investment. It is about who participates, who benefits, and who leads. On the left-hand side of the picture, we can see that Asia Pacific requires approximately $2.8 trillion in energy investment by 2030. But the diagram highlights a critical design choice. We can continue with business as usual, where benefits are concentrated and participant is limited. This is a big barrier. Or we can move forward inclusive design, where youth, women, and local communities actively chart carbon governance. The evidence shows that inclusive policy increase adoption rates and reduce implementation delays, like Mr. Chosen said. Meaning, in conclusion, is not only socially desirable, but economically efficiency. To transform from like our idea or policy to be the action. Our research team, we call ourselves Decarbon, which is from decarbonization, and we include more than 40 researchers in ASEAN. We work in 4 lines. First, agriculture, we do rice, low carbon rice investment. We got the budget from a Japanese company, and we finished our pilot project in Kamphaeng Phet, in the north of Thailand. But it cannot be true even now. We finished the pilot project last year, but to make it true in reality, we are facing a problem with our policy on many important questions that the government or the role policy payer cannot answer. Even though how to sell carbon credit outside Thailand, the rule is not clear even now. And then however, we cannot give up, right? We still try to work more. We believe that lowering monitoring of this process can lower monitoring costs, and also can change farmers to be a key person to decrease CO2 emission. Not only that, we do it in textile. Especially we got a research fund from area, and we believe that this sector is very important, but there is even no policy about this in our country. Because limit time, we also focus on tourism, which almost they are MSME, and even now there is a policy for low carbon tourism, but it's like CSR rather than a key player policy to decrease CO2 emission. And the last one is Green University. I created this project and we got to the accept from Great Mekong sub-region to be in regional financial framework of 2025 to 2027, even though my project was published in that investment plan, but we still don't get any budget. And we found that no money, no future. But we don't give up. We try more to work more. At least we start to do a little bit project. And this project we got $2 million US to work for 6 countries in the north of ASEAN. And not only that, our research team created innovation, and we got gold medal from Geneva competition in 2002 for Achan robot, including the Zhang laboratory that can increase CO2 emission, can teach students from around the world. For the Zhang laboratory and enjoy 3D application, we got gold medal from Kyoto Invention Award. But that all gold medals still be like awards for us. But I wish this all innovation can save our world from CO2 emission issue. But we need more to explain this innovation and also knowledge to all of these 4 sectors. And we still never give up, but we have to work harder. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Krungthepkreetha. Thank you for helping me see that ambition, economics, and also institutional capacity intersect with one another. And thank you for not giving up on designing a fairer green economy despite all the challenges. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard perspectives from policy modeling, from entrepreneurship, and also from energy economics. Now let's widen the conversation. I think we can open the floor to 2 or 3 questions. We'll take it together. If we have one question here, is there any other question?
We'll do collective questions, so we choose.
Okay, we'll go
Alright.
from one
Introduce
question
yourself
here
and your
first.
question.
Hi, my name is Dr. Satya. I'm a trans woman from Pakistan and a medical doctor. My question is, I would have context first. Many climate and clean energy initiatives claim to be gender responsive, accessible, and inclusive, yet often rely on binary and heteronormative frameworks that exclude transgender and gender diverse people. Given their disproportionate vulnerability to climate displacement, energy poverty, wash insecurity, and gaps in disaster response, and their absence in data, design, and leadership, how are your initiatives explicitly ensuring the inclusion of transgender and gender diverse communities, including in governance, innovation ecosystems, data systems, and finances across Asia Pacific? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Do we have any other questions?
If that side, we have the person from there to give you the
Yeah.
mic. If from that side.
Is
From
there-
this side, it will be myself. So any question from this side? Any question from that side?
Maybe the floor needs more time to think. So maybe we'll just
Yeah.
explore this first question first,
Okay.
and then we'll open for another one if we have time.
All right.
So for the first question, basically, if I can just sum it up, many climate and clean energy claim to be gender inclusive, but it excludes the transgender, while they are one of the most impacted by the climate change today. So how are your initiatives include transgender? Maybe anyone wants to take it up?
From my project, Green University, we focus on youth. This means all sex, including LGBT also. We would like to actually, the best policy is that the government of every country should set up the subject, because now we call this one in economics point of view, we call it core economics, CORE and economics. Focus on not only use economic theory or good at cooperation or statistics, but use economics in our real life. You know, SDG is the same as economics philosophy. We would like to use our resource at the maximum utilities or benefits. So everyone, not only male, female, including every sex. We need everyone to group together to cooperate. The leader of our research team for textile, low carbon textile, he is LGBT. So we need your creativity and your cooperation, and we believe this is going to be success for our world. It's not from only one side, but we have to work together. Thank you very much. Very good question.
Thank you, Dr. Krungthepkreetha.
Actually, we have online.
Oh
In
yeah.
fact, I will say it.
Is there
Yeah.
any question?
Yes,
Mr. Chua
actually,
can read
let
for
me
us.
let me read. There's one actually. So there's one question from Suleiman. I'll duck right now because I need to read. I hope you guys don't mind. So his question is how can climate tech startup demonstrate measurable impact across multiple SDG while maintaining commercial viability and scalability? I think that's a question for Mr. Chosen.
Thank you. Oh, very big question. Actually, for me, many challenge. I think we need like ecosystem collaboration that the government, like policymaker, collaborate with the technology maker, like the startup, and also the funding from the banks or from the VC. We join together. Now in Thailand, we still fragmented by like I'm developed a solution, but I don't know whether the regulation is support or not. The government will like it or not, and whether they will use my technology on their government project or not. And the funding, like the banks and VC, they are waiting for the regulation whether my solution is good, but they think it's quite risky to invest in the technology without the government support. So in easier way that we do the collaboration, the ecosystem collaboration, I think this is needed for to make it easier to, we cannot go alone by only the technology side from the startup, and we cannot just let the government think about the regulation alone, and also the funding that they try to invest alone. So everyone try to be ecosystem collaboration. This is my idea. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chosen. Unfortunately, we don't have time for more questions. But what's clear is transforming the clean energy system is complex, and we've heard a lot of challenges, but I would love to close this session with something on a more hopeful note. So maybe just with that in mind, I'd like to close with a just short reflection from each panelist, maybe 1 minute per person. Looking ahead to 2030, what gives you the most optimism about youth and gender-inclusive leadership in the clean energy transition across Asia Pacific? Maybe we start with Dr. Krungthepkreetha and we go this side.
Why this issue is important for Asia Pacific. This region is at a turning point. Carbon markets, green finance, and climate technology are expanding rapidly in this region. But without inclusive governance, the transition risks widening inequality. This framework therefore argues that carbon markets should be designed as economic platforms that distribute opportunity, not only reduce emission. This means that people who participate in this sector should get benefits, and they can see benefits not only for our world, but should have financial benefits for themselves also. In conclusion, this picture, for my picture, is would like to say that a flat green economy will not emerge automatically. It must be intentionally designed. If we integrate youth leadership, gender inclusion, digital innovation, and cross-sector collaboration, then carbon governance becomes more than a policy tool. It becomes a driver of equitable and resilient development of our world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Krungthepkreetha. Mr. Chosen.
Thank you. Actually, I think every parties like government, like financial, like startup, even the youth and even the transgenders. So we don't strict in only their own mind that we have to open the new thing that we try to develop the new world. So everything has to be new, and we change everything that everyone have to inclusive and try to develop on the same goal together. This is my idea. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chosen, Ms. Nuzulia.
Yeah, thank you so much for the excellent wrap-up questions, Amira. I think the most important things that makes me hopeful is people are actually started to talk with each other. So people with different languages, engineers, policymakers are started to realize that the importance of the integrations in terms of like the policy making is really important. And with this kind of like platform like today, I'm really hopeful that I can see that a lot of young scholars who are interested in how can we maximize the role of youth in the climate governance, and also how, for example, for in my ministry, we are working together with the Ministry of Women Empowerment to develop the gender budget taking, gender and climate budget taking. We are also working with the Ministry of Agriculture for ensuring that it's not only about energy security but also food security. So people are started to talk with each other, and I think the role of energy modeler are especially important because we can provide the platform for those people with different disciplines to really talk and find the solution not only for climate resiliency but also for the energy security.
Thank you so much, Nuzulia, and thank you to all our panelists for a discussion that was not only insightful but really honest. I think what we've heard today is clear. The clean energy transition is not just about technology, policy, or finance. It's about who gets to shape the future. And as a young woman myself, I know that across the Asia Pacific, young people and women, we're not just waiting to be included. We are already building solutions, we are reshaping industries, and we are challenging the way decisions are being made. And not because we were given permission, but because the urgency of the moment leaves no room to wait. And perhaps that is the real source of optimism looking forward towards 2030. And this is a generation that is rising, not just ready to participate, but ready to lead, ready to redesign, and ready to transform. Thank you very much once again, and I'll hand the session back to Joshua. Thank you.
All right, another round of applause. Okay, good. I'm happy with the clap. We're in Asia, so photo session is pretty much very important. It doesn't even exist if you don't take photos. So I'll bring you on the here, so it will be a group photo with everyone.